on Saturday, April 16th.
We're gonna make a pretty good team.
No capes.
What is this, karate class?
Karate? These pants are black and stretchy, fool. We're ninjas.
No superpowers.
Not bad, is she?
Wow. No mercy.
I'm gonna turn this robot into a nobody.
Don't miss the brand new series, Supah Ninjas. Catch the series premiere Saturday, April 16th at 8:30.
Ooh, that's gonna leave a nasty little mark.
Only on Nick.
Supah Ninjas was an action sitcom on Nickelodeon from 2011 to 2013, created by Leo Chu and Eric Garcia. Essentially, it's about 3 high school kids becoming ninjas, considered to be one of the more underrated shows on the channel. For me, it was one of those shows that if it was on, I would watch, but I never actively sought it out. But y'all seem to like it, and were quick to defend it in my How to Rock video, so let's give it a shot. And where's the best place to start? That's right, the pilot. The episode starts with a bank robbery by a villain named The Rhymer, who's played by Christopher Reeve from House Party.
Suck my dick.
Somehow he gets away with this. I mean, homie is just a dude with a mic staff. At least Shad Rodney had a gun. And Rihanna.
Hi, Rihanna.
Soon after, we meet our leads, Owen Reynolds, Amanda McKay, and Mike Fukunaka. Owen is telling Mike that he should have more confidence and to go talk to his crush, Amanda.
But that's Amanda McKay, cheerleader, athlete, and brain. She's like a self-contained high school without the pimples and nerds.
And not gonna lie, she don't sound that special. After some verbal threats from Owen, he manages to muster up the little courage he has to walk up and talk to her. To his surprise, she knew his name and the clubs he was a part of. Amidst the conversation, Mike mentions that he's having trouble in calculus, and Amanda offers to help him study, which Mike immediately says yes.
I could help you with calculus.
Really? How's Thursday?
Back at home, we get introduced to Mark's dad, Martin, played by Randall Park, the actor, comedian, and rapper.
Baddest on the microphone apparatus is here. When I rock a rhyme, often eyes are dropping a tear. It's so beautiful, it's America's landscapes when this man makes lyrics like the syrups that you pour upon your pancakes.
He walks in discussing the case he's working on involving the Rhymer. Because he's still on the loose somehow, there's also a moment where Owen goes in for a hug and gets rejected. And I'ma choose not to take it as racism, but I'ma keep my eyes on you, Martin. He leaves giving Mike a letter from his grandfather, telling him that he's always with him, and the moan he wears around his neck is the key to his future, which leads to them discovering a hidden passage under Mike's bed.
Is this where you keep your special magazines?
Once in the cave, they are greeted by Mike's dead grandfather, and this is where we get the show's plot. Turns out, Mike is a ninja, and it is his destiny to become a hero of the shadows. I have a question. What if Mike never got the letter? Like, what if it got lost in the mail? What happens then? Also, why did Owen automatically become a ninja? Because he was just there, standing next to Mike? Is that all it takes? Soon after, we get a training montage, which I believe is just a day. Like, it's just a day of training, because immediately afterwards, we meet them back at school, where they find out that Amanda has been kidnapped by the Rhymer, because apparently nobody can stop this guy. How is this nigga still on the loose? They managed to figure out where she was being held, so they suit up for the first time. And I gotta say, these ninja outfits are very underwhelming. And it's not bad. It could have been much, much worse. Just, this ain't it.
I'm not feeling it.
I've seen better ninja outfits from Power Rangers 95. What really throws me off are the knee pads. God, I hope they get an upgrade in season 2. They manage to find Amanda, but immediately get captured. The Rhymer has them tied to a pole, preparing to electrocute them.
When the final letter lights, you'll be fixing to fry. Fry.
After losing a rap battle with Amanda, he leaves out of frustration.
Rhyming with ease, squeeze, freeze, trapeze, release, Sudanese. I can go on with these.
How is your name the Rhymer, and you get outmatched by a white girl? Ain't you from Kid and Play? Should've passed the mic to MC Randall Park.
I'm a rhyme writer, lock, stock, smoking the ganja. Rebuttals befuddle, leaving a puddle of saliva, sillies. You couldn't handle Randall when I throw my grammar at you. It hit your head and you would think I threw a hammer at you.
With some teamwork, they managed to escape and go on the attack. And I'm not gonna lie, the combat was pretty good. But alas, the Rhymer escapes again, and the ninjas disappear with a puff of smoke, leaving nothing but their name.
The Supah Ninjas. He said it! He said it!
The next day, Amanda figures out who they are and corners them in the boys' bathroom, demanding to join the team. This is supposed to be Mike's destiny, right? This is a part of his lineage, his family, and yet they're just letting anyone join. At least Amanda had the decency to ask. Owen just showed up. The show ends with the three of them on a rooftop, ready to defend the night as heroes of the shadows. And that was Supah Ninjas, the pilot. Honestly, not bad. I didn't know what I was expecting coming in, but color me impressed. By episode 3, I was invested. I want to know more about the Fukanaga clan, and I wanted to see the progression of the ninjas through high school, a full evolution of the show, which we kinda got with season 2, but it focuses more on the characters and overarching story. You start to feel the series taking itself more seriously, but I guess that wasn't enough.
You're watching Supah Ninjas. We'll be right back on Nick.
And I think one of the other reasons to watch is because it is great for like the entire family. So it's not a show that just you like, your brother will like it too, and your parents will like it too, and everyone will like it. So I think it's a show you can watch together, and it's one of those shows that you can really relate to everyone with.
Mike Fukanaga, played by Ryan Potter, there isn't an official leader of the group, but it's pretty much Mike. He first comes off as timid and nerdy, but gets more confidence throughout the season, but still retains his nerdiness, which has proven to be pretty useful. There's an episode where they're on a train going to a comic book convention called Intergalacticon, and it was his knowledge that helped them narrow down their suspects. And he got to cosplay with Amanda. Homie was bricked up looking at Amanda. Speaking of that, Mike was down bad for Amanda, all the way back to 5th grade, which explains how easily he gets jealous. Like when she started liking Cameron, he almost got that man arrested and almost killed. He calms down a lot by the end of the season. He even gets himself a girlfriend. Mike is the best fighter in the group, hands down. He has the most takedowns of all the ninjas. He's skilled in nunchucks, shurikens, and swords. And he knows ninja magic. Homie is a natural, literally. Also, let me talk about this nigga Connor, bruh, because I'm not sure if I like him or not. Alright, so Ninja Connor, I rocks with, but regular Connor needs to get his ass beat. He's so annoying. He becomes tolerable throughout the season only because it's revealed that he's also a ninja, and he gets better as a ninja, but as regular Connor, I just want to slap this nigga in the face. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. He's played by Brandon Soho. You know, from Incredible Crew? My crew is incredible. This was a weird show. Y'all remember the Bad Luck rap or the song about science fairs?
That happened, and we all let it happen.
But back to the show. Owen Reynolds, played by Carlos Knight, Owen is the dumb comic relief character. He constantly runs in without a plan, misunderstanding the situation. And did I mention that he raps? Because of course he does. Can't be a black man on TV without spitting some bars.
Wearing black in the night. These Supah Ninjas are super.
Shut your bitch ass up!
And every other word out of his mouth is a joke or some kind of punchline. Like during the series, he has this running gag where he threatens to expose one of Mike's secrets if he doesn't do what he says.
Or I'll tell everyone how long you slept in diapers. Go, or I'll tell everyone you wrote a fan letter to Justin Bieber. Pull it off and I tell everyone about your third nipple.
Or when they first get to the cave and the first thing he does is start touching stuff. Like, nigga, this is not your house. Usually this would piss me off to no end, and y'all already know I hate stupid characters, but yet I found myself enjoying it. Owen might be my favorite character. For starters, his delivery and comedic timing are some of the best in the show. It just comes so naturally and gets better with each episode, which isn't surprising. Carlos is by far the best actor of the three, but that doesn't mean he's perfect. Some of the jokes don't always land and completely ruin the scene.
Looks like she's the bomb. Get it?
He's also the most improved when it comes to fighting, from being everyone's punching bag to easily taking on multiple opponents at once. He kind of reminds me of Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, like how in Rush Hour 1 he was always getting beat up, but by Rush Hour 3 he was cleaning house. And through all the jokes and gags, he's a solid friend. He can be selfish and obnoxious, but he's always there for his homies, either to encourage Mike when he needs it or supporting Amanda for whatever she's doing. One of my favorite moments was in the Spring Fling episode. Homie put his own date on hold just to make sure that Mike could get his with Amanda. Top tier friend. Amanda McKay, played by Gracie DeZinny, Amanda is the brains of the team. While Mike and Owen tend to rush into fights head first, she would rather stay back and evaluate the situation. She's not the most interesting of the three, at least at first. She's a bit of a perfectionist and an overachiever, constantly needing to prove herself and show her worth. Because of this, she screwed over the team a few times and almost got them killed. In the Checkmate episode, they find a bomb, and conveniently, she has a bomb defusing app on her phone. But it must have been free because she tries to cut a wire and it's the wrong one. And she stays still trying to fix it. Nigga, your life is in danger. It's not that deep. White people shit, I swear to God. Crackers! I also love during the build up to the explosion, you see Owen take off first, yet he's the only one with burn damage. But yeah, she gets better throughout the season, learning to trust herself and her teammates. But then season 2 happens. Alright, let's talk about Flint. This discount Robin Hood, this bootleg Oliver Queen, this watered down Jet. Give me your shoelaces. I thought Flint was gonna act as an anti-hero, which I was completely down for. It would have been a great change of pace while also introducing new conflicts. And I mean, they dabble with the concept for the first half, and to be fair, it was done well enough, but it soon devolved into a forced love triangle. The only thing good to come out of it was her mask. I thought it looked cool, and it made the suits look better. And the payoff in the Spring Fling episode was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. When Mike mustered up the courage to finally ask Amanda to dance, and he gets that thumbs up from Owen as they dance the night away, come on, that's a solid episode. But back to Amanda. It was a slow burn, but I grew to like and appreciate her throughout the series. She has her funny moments, mainly with Owen. Their banter was always entertaining. One thing I liked about her was how she was the first to acknowledge how absurd some of these villains were, but I'll speak more on that later. Not only is she one of the smartest members of the team, she's a solid fighter, always having at least one standout moment in each episode. One of my favorites being Morningstar Academy and Cheer Fever. She can be a bit of a drag and kind of annoying, but a solid character. Hologramps, played by George Takei. Hologramps is Mike's dead grandfather. That's not funny. Hologramps is Mike's dead grandfather and acts as a sensei of the group. And I mean, that's not entirely wrong. He does offer some words of wisdom and guidance, but he's also there to add some exposition and even make a couple jokes. Homie is hella goofy. You can tell that George is having fun with it.
Ha ha, you're hilarious.
But back to him being a sensei, he could have been a lot more transparent about exactly what Mike was getting into. He should have told him about his true destiny, and he definitely should have told him about his flying evil twin brother. Like, what the hell? These things seem pretty important to be a ninja for the free. Nevertheless, I liked Hologramps, and I wish we had more time with him.
Where is my spell book? You're watching Supah Ninjas. On Nick.
Now, I love a good villain, and when I discovered that this was a villain of the week kind of show, I was hyped. And after watching both seasons, I was fairly disappointed.
Larry, what the fuck is this shit?
Let's start with the ones I liked. Dr. Eternum was a good one, capturing villains and criminals with the goal of switching their personalities from evil to good, like on some Clockwork Orange type shit. Dollhouse was another standout villain. He kidnaps people and turns them into human dolls with this mind control collar, which is kinda dark when you think about it. Homie kidnapped 2 high school girls and forced them to play his game, all because homie never had friends for a playdate. Who knows what else went down in that dollhouse? Somebody need to call Finn of SVU. So you're kidnapping high school girls, controlling their minds with this collar? Man, you twisted. Shut up. Mr. Bradford was probably one of the more compelling villains in my opinion. He wasn't truly evil, just desperate. His obsession with finding a cure for his virus, along with his conflict with Amanda, was great, and the climax was just as good. Another solid villain and episode, honestly. And you can't forget about Kaguya Fukunaga and the Ishina clan. They were the only real threat in the show, serving as the big bad for the whole series, having the perfect balance of menace and mystery. They were fun to watch, and that's about it. All the other villains villain sucked, and the bar wasn't that high for a Nick show, but still. Katara, boring. Quake, boring. Snakeskin, boring. Wallflower was just a psycho stalker. Checkmate had potential, but disappeared after episode 16. X didn't even do anything, and don't get me started on the Rhymer or Two-Ton Harry, who's just the Big Show with mutton chops. Speaking of that, there were a lot of different guest stars and cameos in the show. Christopher Reeves, the Rhymer. Ryan Higa was Elephant Head. Daniela Monet was Clarissa. That guy from that 70s show was Limelight. Sierra Bravo was the evil cheerleader. There was a decent amount of people. Nickelodeon must have had a lot of faith in this show, huh?
Got him!
Compared to the other shows airing at the time, Supah Ninjas stood on their own. It introduced a whole new style to Nickelodeon, kind of acting as a pioneer of sorts. Like, hear me out. Supah Ninjas crawled, so a show like the Thundermans could walk a little funny. Nothing against the Thundermans, but my statement still stands. For those who didn't care for teen sitcoms and dramas, the Supah Ninjas became the alternative. Now it didn't bring in the ratings like the others did, but that comes with the territory. If you weren't SpongeBob or made by Dan Snyder, Nickelodeon did not give a damn about you. Supah Ninjas held strong, but the inevitable came. All good things must come to an end sometimes, and unfortunately, Supah Ninjas is no exception. Nickelodeon would cancel the show after 2 seasons, with a huge cliffhanger ending. It just couldn't keep up with the competition of the time, and it didn't help that Nickelodeon was playing favorites. But I'm also not surprised. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the show, and there was a lot stacked against it, but it has its problems. For starters, when it comes to the humor, it's pretty inconsistent. Same goes for the action. It can be pretty decent, but when it's bad, it's very bad. And the acting is fine at best, but cringe at worst. Especially Mike and Amanda. Good lord.
I'm keeping it professional. I've decided to move on.
But you don't understand. I have to get this right. I just have to.
It's gonna be a no for me, dog. Keep it up, though.
That was probably the biggest chore of season 1. Season 2 helps mitigate that, but still, it's a shame. I'm genuinely curious what they were gonna do for season 3. Mike and Amanda's relationship was just getting good, and I wanted to see Owen get some ninja powers. But alas, I guess it was never meant to be. I feel like Supah Ninjas came out at the wrong time. If it came out later, I bet it would have kept up or maybe even surpassed the Thundermans or Henry Danger, but that's just me. I wouldn't mind if they brought the show back to finish season 3, but if that never happens, I'm fine too. I'm content with the memory. I'm also very tired on reboots right now. We have enough. Supah Ninjas was a one-of-a-kind show, and it helped set the foundation for other Nick shows like it. And like How to Rock, would have gotten better with time and was definitely taken too soon. But you don't have to take my word for it.